Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Promax 2021 Rise. It's great to be back for another year. We're really looking forward to everything it has to bring, and we're going to kick off with this great tease to what's to expected this year. Just quickly, some notes before we start. A reminder that registration for the virtual conference on the 4th of November is open. A schedule of the speakers will be coming out next month, so keep a lookout for that. It's great to kind of be back with that one big exciting Promax day, which will end off in our award ceremony that's always much anticipated. But this morning, like I said, a great tease to what's to come. Please welcome Emil Rademeyer Executive Director of Creative Strategy from Vandal, based in Sydney, Australia. A lot of you may remember him from the 2019 conference, which was super inspiring and kind of blows your mind in terms of the work that Vandal and Emil are doing, and really excited to see what this session will bring. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Emil to present Welcome to the Metaverse, the Future of Creativity, proudly sponsored by DSTV. So thank you very much to DSTV. Over to you, Emil.
Thanks so much, Samira. I really appreciate it. Let me get cracking straight into it, and I will share my screen with you and the team. Well, I am really excited to be here with you today. And all that I can really say is welcome to the Metaverse. It is, well, I think it is the future of creativity.
You blocked me on Facebook, and now you're going to get up.
Well, welcome to everyone that is logged in from all over the world. My name is Emil Rademeyer, and that photo is not of me. This is me. And usually this is the point where I tell you my whole life story, how I started as a teacher's pet, being that annoying one that always wait for the teacher in the beginning of the day, wanting to carry their bag and bring them an apple. But I'm going to skip past my life story because I've got some really exciting things to share with you today, and I'm going to go straight to today. As Samira said, my name is Emil Rademeyer, and I am Executive Director of Creative Strategy and Innovation here at Vandal in Sydney, Australia. Vandal, who in their right mind would call a company Vandal? Well, Vandal is a creative studio that crafts media independent advertising, art, augmented reality, and immersive experiences. Next time you pop out to the shops, swing past us here in Redfern, Sydney. This is our studio, a beautiful converted warehouse building. Parking is really an issue here in Sydney, so that's why you can just drive straight into your desk. That is Nigel's Harley Davidson. He just drives straight into his desk. We don't even have to worry about parking spots here in Sydney. We love creativity, and we don't just apply that creativity to the work and to the clients that we do projects for, but we apply it to our own art gallery. Vandal Gallery is a public art gallery, and it's basically the entrance foyer into our studio here in Sydney. We have different art exhibitions every couple of months, and it's a great opportunity to share with our industry and with our colleagues some of the amazing art and artists that's available here in our home city of Sydney. This is usually where I show you a bit of the work that Vandal does, but I really want to get started into our session. So I'm going to do a quick fast forward and show you Vandal's work over the last 2 years in 15 seconds. Here we go. that's it. That's been keeping me off the streets, out of jail for the last couple of years, myself and my colleagues. So let's get straight into it. Welcome to the Metaverse, the future of creativity. What are we going to talk about today? Well, let me run you through it. Number one, we're going to ask the most obvious question. Well, what is the Metaverse? Number two, we're going to go and explore the Metaverse. Number three, we're going to look at one of the components in the Metaverse, art in the Metaverse. Number four, this is Promax after all. So what in the world does this actually have to do with television, and how can I apply that to my day-to-day job and day-to-day activities where I work? And then finally, number five, we're going to look into the future, and we're going to see what the future for all of us behold. So let's jump into it. Number one, what is the Metaverse?
Welcome back, guys. Between Bells at Cheddar News, the Metaverse is taking the internet by storm, literally. The phrase, which has become increasingly popular in the last few months, is turning heads for a lot of reasons, one of which nobody understands what it is.
Well, that was easy. What is the Metaverse? Nobody understands what it is. And if the professionals doesn't know what it is, I won't know what it is. And therefore, well, the session has been a little bit quicker than I anticipated. Yeah, that's about it. A little bit embarrassing, but thanks so much for Samira and Promax and DSTV. My name is Emil, and yeah, that's the Metaverse. Thanks so much, guys. See you later. Peace out. Tricked you, I'm back. That was just a trick, but the jokes doesn't always go so well if it's just you in a room by yourself. No one is laughing. So yeah, 0 out of 1 for my first joke. Let's try again. What is the Metaverse?
I feel like we have to start with the question, what is the Metaverse? Do tell us.
Sure, I think you actually did a great job of teeing that up. The best way to think about it is a quasi-successor state to today's mobile internet, in much the same way today's mobile internet built off of the internet of the 90s and 2000s. In this instance, however, the iteration is not necessarily going into a smaller computer, but into virtual worlds, virtual simulations, enabling the purchase of things in the real world through those environments, but also in particular purchasing things that solely exist in said.
Okay, hold your horses, cowboy. What is the Metaverse? Well, that went really well. Quasi, blah, 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 internet, something mobile, 1990s, 2000, and some more blah, blah, blah. That is perfect. I know exactly what the Metaverse is now. Third time lucky. What is the Metaverse?
Could you answer this question for us? What is the Metaverse?
So the Metaverse, thank you for having me, by the way. The Metaverse is that convergence of physical, augmented, and virtual realities online. So
okay, that's much better. That makes more sense to me now. So the Metaverse is the physical world, the digital world, and the virtual world combined online. That's pretty simple. When I grew up back in the day, we only had the physical world. There was no internet, there was no digital, there were no mobile phones. It was really just the physical world. Me and my He-Man toys and Lego. But what has since started is the digital world. But more so, the digital world has actually, in my opinion, started to overshadow and become bigger than the physical world. Now, what happens if you look at the physical world through the lens of this digital world? Well, you see a new reality. You see an augmented reality. Augmented just means changed, a changed reality. Combine that with an immersive experience, a virtual immersive experience, and what do you have? Well, you have the Metaverse, or as some people call the Metaverse, the second internet, Internet 2.0.
On 28 July, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg said during the company's earnings call that it would transition from a social media company to a Metaverse company, sparking a renewed interest in the topic. But what is Metaverse, and why is it being pipped to be the next big technological thing? In simple terms, Metaverse is the convergence of physical, augmented, and virtual reality in a shared online space. Just like we have a physical persona that exists in the real world, we also have a digital persona which exists on the internet, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. What Metaverse does is converge the two in some way. It makes you exist in a virtual world where your opportunities are limitless. It removes the finite nature of the real world. Now that doesn't mean you exist in two different worlds. It isn't like getting plugged as shown in The Matrix, but a more evolved version of what we saw in the movie WALL-E, and certainly not as realistic and sophisticated as it gets in Avatar, at least not yet. For a long time, Metaverse was just a term in the 1992 dystopian novel Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. Inside Snow Crash's Metaverse, individuals appear in digital avatars in a virtual world complete with companies, houses, and anything that resembles the real world. Another book, later a movie directed by Steven Spielberg, that popularized this concept was Ready Player One. The 2011 book by Ernest Cline was set in 2045, where people escape to a virtual reality game as the real world is plunged into crisis. In the game, you interact with fellow players and team up with them, much like what you see in the Matrix movie trilogy. But the metaverse isn't limited to these science fictions. It could be a lot more or a lot less depending on how the ecosystem evolves. As Zuckerberg said, it's a virtual environment where you can be present with people in digital spaces. You can kind of think about this as an embodied internet that you're inside of rather than just looking at. We believe that this is going to be the successor to the mobile internet. What it means is that instead of interacting with your friends online, as is the case now, you can meet irrespective of digital avatars using a virtual reality headset or any other device and get inside any virtual environment, be it an office, cafe, or even a gaming center, much like the popular games Fortnite and Roblox. Sparked by the COVID-19 pandemic, which pushed everyone across the world into their computer and mobile screens, Metaverse is the new bandwagon onto which tech companies are jumping on. Apart from Facebook, Microsoft, computer graphics firm Nvidia, and Epic Games is also exploring the Metaverse space. Although it is still unclear what shape Metaverse will finally take, the complexity of the technology means it won't reach the final stages anytime soon. After all, even virtual reality is in its early stages. And as with any technological disruptions, it will be interesting to see how Metaverse will impact our lives and to what extent will it be bound by rules so that it doesn't come under scrutiny.
How will the Metaverse impact our lives? Well, before we answer that, I might ask, why the Metaverse? What's wrong with our universe, the normal universe, the physical world that we live in? Well, number one is because I think our world is digital, not physical anymore. Let me explain. This is a statistic that I got a couple of years ago where it said the average person spends about 6 hours a day online. Well, only in a couple of years that has gone up to 12. The average person now spends 12 hours a day online. I don't know about you, but I spent about 8 to 10 hours at work. There's a little bit of social media in between, maybe a bit of music online, Spotify, Apple Music, maybe a movie at home. So in reality, I think I must spend close to 20 hours a day online. Humans will spend a total of 1 billion years online this year alone. And how do we do it? Well, we do it with little 3-second increments. Before we scroll past, you've got 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention. Otherwise, they flip up, they scroll past, and you are forgotten. I love that clip. I love that clip because people often think, well, technology is really cold and lifeless. But if I look at that clip, every single edit in that clip had some form of technology in it. And in my mind, technology can really help create the most amazing immersive experiences. So let's do a recap on our first point. What is the metaverse? Well, the metaverse is Internet 2.0, the next internet. It's really defined as combining the physical world, the digital world, and the virtual world in a new reality, a new augmented reality dubbed Augmented Reality 2.0. It takes us from our physical world, the universe, into this new world called the metaverse. And then it creates ultimately a new reality of rich and immersive experiences for us and for us to share with other people. Okay, number 2, let's dive right in, exploring the metaverse. So we looked at that and we saw that the metaverse is augmented reality 2.0. Augmented reality, you say?
It's true that we probably all agree that we live in a real world. But is there more to reality than what the human eye can see? Is there perhaps more than one reality? In fact, what is reality? Simply put, reality is a series of perceptions which we collectively confirm to be true. For example, I feel like I'm here standing still, but in fact I'm zooming around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. Our society calls this collection of distinct experiences reality. So, what is augmented reality? It's not about twisting elements we recognize as real, nor is it about shifting what our eyes can see or enlarging the size of things around you. Augmented reality is a digital layer superimposed over our direct environment. The perfect symbiosis of virtual and analog. We now perceive more than the eye can see. Take this image, for example. Through the augmented reality spectrum, it might reveal something completely new and unexpected. Augmented reality is the fusion of real and digital. Its possibilities are endless. It allows you to plunge into this new world, a world you have created based on your personal needs, interests, and fantasies. A useful and engaging experience with endless outcomes. Reality is more than it used to be. What was once surreal is now technology. So open your mind to the infinite capabilities of our collective imaginations. Welcome to the new world of augmented reality.
The merging of real and digital, now you're talking my language, augmented reality 2.0. Let's look at that. Let's look at the metaverse. Well, like I've said before, everything that you can find in the universe, the physical world, you can find in the metaverse. That's places, that's real estate, that's art, fashion, games, experiences, live concerts, even money. Combine all of those together and what do you get? Well, this is the technical term. It is called a mega crazy place. Why is the technical term of the metaverse a mega crazy place? Well, let's have a look. Let's look at 2 of those things, fashion and art. Let's look at fashion first. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people spend money on real clothes, physical clothes, and some people spend money on digital clothes. Each to their own. It might sound strange to you, but I'll give you an example. My son is 10 years old and he plays a game called Roblox. Roblox is a game on the Metaverse. He has never asked me for real t-shirt brands or real Nike sneakers. What he has asked me for is for some Robux, the digital currency of Roblox, so that he can buy digital clothes for his avatar. In fact, we had to get up twice at 4 a.m. in the morning to stand in a queue, that's a digital queue, in order to buy a limited edition Gucci handbag, digital, for a game in Roblox. So there you go, digital clothes, it's real, people pay real money for it. In fact, I've paid real money for it. But let's look at the next one, art in the Metaverse. Which brings us to our third point, art in the Metaverse. Now, in the real world, art is physical because you paint it and you can see it, it's a sculpture, it's right in front of you. So it makes sense that in the digital world, art is digital. Well, what does that mean? Well, basically it means your digital artwork is ultimately a digital file. Yes, it's a humble JPEG, or it's a humble MP4 movie, or it's a good old animated GIF or GIF. Some people say GIF. I never know if it's GIF or GIF. I say GIF, animated GIF. Well, that's where the problem lies. Anyone can copy a digital file. So if I create a digital artwork, I save a JPEG, I can send it to you and you and you and you and everyone else in the world. So how can it be valuable if I can just make infinite amount of copies of the Mona Lisa or any other artwork for that matter? Well, I need to take ownership of that JPEG. And how do I take ownership of a digital file, of a JPEG? Well, I need to authenticate the JPEG to prove that that JPEG, that digital work of art, belongs to me and me only. And how do I do that? Well, I do it through something that is called an NFT. You might have heard some of this in the news lately, an NFT. So let's dive into it. What is an NFT? Well, an NFT stands for a non-fungible token. Fungi, yes, I like mushrooms. Who doesn't like mushrooms? I like pizza. I love mushrooms on pizza, but I don't like pineapple on pizza. No, not fungi, fungible. What does fungible mean? Well, it basically means it is interchangeable. You can swap it for something else. What does non-fungible mean? Well, it means it is non-interchangeable. You can't swap it for something else. So let's look at two examples. What is fungible or swappable or interchangeable? Well, money is. If I give you a $10 note and you give me a $10 note, we can swap them between each other. It's the same thing. $10 is $10. I can even give you two $5 notes and you give me one $10 notes. We can swap those things between each other. It means it's interchangeable, it's fungible. So if money is fungible, what is non-fungible? Well, something like the Mona Lisa is non-fungible. I can't swap a Mona Lisa for a Picasso because there's different value to it. Or I can't pay you in half a Mona Lisa by sawing it in half and only give you a portion of it. It just doesn't work like that. It is non-interchangeable. It is non-fungible. So an NFT authenticates a work of digital art so that it proves ownership, that it proves that I am the owner of that JPEG. Okay, it might sound a little bit who's your uncle, but it's actually basically very, very simple. In the same way that I need to prove ownership that I own the Mona Lisa, I need to prove ownership that I own a digital file. I do that by means of a NFT. In the same way that anyone can look at a photo of the Mona Lisa, it doesn't mean you own the Mona Lisa. In the same way that anyone can look at my JPEG file, it doesn't mean they own the JPEG file. So let's look at 3 case studies of NFT art.
Something I've been studying for about 6 months is NFTs, non-fungible tokens, art on the blockchain. People are like, Gary, why are you buying $2,000 digital art? I'm like, why do you spend 5,000 hours of your life dwelling that you don't have a blue check on Instagram? What do you think a blue check on Instagram is worth to some people right now? What's a Clubhouse invite going for? That's an invite to a platform that is virtual. Why did Matt show a little plaque about 100,000 subscribers? Why did Josh know exactly what that plaque meant? Because the digital world is the world. So I would get educated on NFT.
There you have it. The digital world is the world. Art case study number 1. This work of art is a gray pixel, and this is a real piece of digital art. And yes, you guessed it. That is the work of art. It is one single gray pixel. It's not a joke. This is the work of art. Albeit, I've scaled it up 100 times here so that you can see it. Gray pixel. How much would you pay for gray pixel? How much would you pay to prove ownership of a gray pixel? $1? $10? Maybe the joke ends at $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. Nope. $1.7 million. That's about 20 million rand. Yes, somebody paid actual money for that work of art called gray pixel. Okay, art case study number 2, CryptoPunk number 3100. That is it. This is CryptoPunk number 3100. How much would you pay for it? Let's not stuff around this time. Let's just go straight into the millions. 1 million, 2 million, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 million. Nope. Somebody paid $7.5 million for that. That's about 80 to 90 million rand. Well, I know what you think. You missed out. You missed out on CryptoPunk 3100. Is there some more? Well, lucky for you, there's also CryptoPunk number 7804. This guy is looking a little bit like Sherlock Holmes here. He's got the old pipe that he's puffing on. How much did this Holmes go for? Well, he went for 7,500,666,173 US dollars. Now, I know this might be a little bit outside your league when it comes to money, but don't fear, I've got an old cheapo for you here. And this is this lovely little monkey with a hat, and absolute bargain, 1.6 million US dollars. Yep, this is actual money that people bought for these works of digital art. Well, don't fear, because there is a lot of them. In fact, it is an algorithm that creates these pixel characters, and there's thousands of them out there. So take your digital wallet and go buy, buy, buy. Now is the time to get your hands on a CryptoPunk. Number 3, case study number 3 for art. An artist called Beeple, and his work of art was called Every Day's the First 5,000 Days. If you're not familiar with Beeple, he's on Instagram. This is his handle here, at Beeple_crap. He must take himself very seriously. He's got 2.2 million followers. And what Beeple has done is, over 5,000 days, he uploaded a new JPEG, a new work of digital art that he's created, and he uploaded to Instagram for free. Anyone can view it, anyone can go and download it. I can make it my desktop picture. I can do with it whatever I want. But what Beeple has done a couple of months ago is he has sold the collection of those first 5,000 JPEGs on his Instagram feed to an auction, and people could auction on it and they could purchase it. How much are you willing to pay for 5,000 images on Instagram? 69,346,250 US dollars. Yeah, that's almost 1 billion rand. make that sink in for a little bit. R1 billion, 80 million Australian dollars. Bargain, if you ask me. Let's go to the next one. And I will go back to that very technical term that I mentioned before when we ask what is the metaverse. And I might just answer that again by saying the metaverse is a mega crazy place, and it's only the beginning.
Only a few months ago, the term NFT was exploding all over the internet.
Now to the latest trend, the skyrocketing prices for digital art sold as NFTs.
The Christie's auction for digital artist Beeple coming to a close a few moments ago. The final bid, $69 million.
$69 million?
I think it probably means digital art is here to stay.
Anybody in this sector has to admit that they were shocked by the size and the ferocity and speed that the industry evolved so quickly.
The number of wallets that were purchasing NFTs skyrocketed. The number of transactions of NFTs across the board skyrocketed. And the prices for many NFT artists also went up.
Okay. Let's recap on exploring the metaverse. The universe, the physical world, we're now into the metaverse, the combination of digital, virtual, and online. Creates a new reality of immersive experiences. Everything that's in the physical world can also be in the metaverse, and that is art, fashion, games, real estate, concerts, sports, TV, movies, whatever you want, it's in the metaverse as a digital representation. You can now own and prove ownership of those digital assets, the JPEGs, by means of something called an NFT. That's a non-fungible token. And yes, people pay real money to own these digital assets, $69 million and above. So this is all, well, this is all hocus pocus. Is this all pie in the sky? But what does this actually have to do with me and television? This is, after all, Promax. And how can I apply that to what's happening in the broadcast industry, in the media industry, in the entertainment industry right now and today? Television. We have all watched television, and this is what I've got to say about it. Television won't be around for more than 6 months. People will soon get very tired of staring at that box every night. That's not me who said it. That is Daryl Zanuck, 20th Century Fox, you might have heard of them, co-founder in 1964. Television has sure changed since 1964. Here's another one. Netflix isn't even on the radar screen to be competition against us. Who said this? Jim Keyes, Blockbuster CEO, 2008. It is no surprise that Blockbuster once was the biggest chain for movies, rental movies and purchase movies in the States and in the world. And they have just recently closed their very last shop from hero to zero in less than 10 years. Television. If there's one thing that we know about television is that it has been disrupted. There has been an incredible digital disruption. This year, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I've been fortunate to be involved in Promax for 10 years now. And if I look at the industry, how it was 10 years ago, and I look at the industry, how it is today, it is certainly different. Now, different doesn't mean bad. It just means different. And that means us as creative people need to adapt to these changes and be able to not be disrupted, but to be the disruptors. Let me use this as an example. Let's use the benchmark of 50 million users. Let's look at the telephone. The telephone took 75 years to reach 50 million users. The radio took 38 years to reach 50 million users. Television took only 13 years to reach 50 million users. The internet, 4 years. YouTube, 10 months. Pokemon Go, 19 days. Look at that precision there, from 75 years to 19 days to reach 50 million sets of eyeballs. Television, it has been disrupted and it will be disrupted. Why am I saying that? Because you ain't seen nothing yet. You think you've gone through the disruption process? Let me tell you, it hasn't even started. Why am I saying that? Well, now, in the same way that you can purchase art and money and fashion and everything else on the blockchain, you can also purchase unique television moments as NFTs. You can now own a slice of television.
And fans are really getting into it. I had not heard of this until about a week ago. Randy, what about you?
I had no idea what Ari was talking about. I actually had to Google this to say, what the heck are you talking about? But we're about to find out, right?
It's become pretty popular. Ari Alexander is going to break it down for us right now.
If you're a basketball fan and have paid attention to the internet in the past couple weeks, you may have seen something about NBA Top Shot. It's trended multiple times recently, got fans and NBA players alike excited, and has a chance to become one of the first widespread uses of cryptocurrency technology. It can also be endlessly confusing, which is why I'm here to explain. So first question, what in the world is NBA Top Shot? To help with that, I've got the community lead for Dapper Labs, which runs Top Shot, to help. Jacob?
The simplest explanation is it's kind of like the future of trading cards, right? It's all digital on the blockchain. You have instantaneous transfer of ownership. Similar to trading cards, you can open up a pack of Top Shot moments. So these are digital highlights, and it's a far more kind of immersive feeling than maybe opening a pack of still images on pieces of cardboard.
So the best explanation here, it's like trading cards online. Instead of a card, it's a video highlight. Instead of it laying around your basement in a box, it sits in a folder on the internet. Which brings to the next question, where does the value come from?
Well, that makes perfect sense to me because we're all familiar with trading cards. In fact, I went to eBay just before this presentation and you can still purchase them. Here is a 1986-87 basketball card for Michael Jordan. It's on eBay, go and have a look and you can purchase it. Makes perfect sense for me that that physical world is now represented in the digital world. And in the same way that you can collect physical trading cards, you can now start and collect those digital trading cards, those digital moments.
The NBA has made it to the blockchain. Featuring the top superstars, the elite rookies, and the role players that made your favorite team tick. Collect the defining moments from the NBA season and build a collection of moments from the players you love. Signature moves, game-winning shots, jaw-dropping blocks, unbelievable jump-out-of-your-seat plays. Introducing Moments, next-level NBA collectibles that celebrate the most epic highlights from the most incredible athletes as they happen. Moments bring together on-court video, heroic action shots, and distinct artwork for each rarity tier. Every moment is unique, individually numbered, and with ownership guaranteed by the blockchain. Hoop heads can deep dive even further. Each collectible includes detailed player stats, a comprehensive box score, and a highlight description. When you build your NBA Top Shot collection, you get to own your moments and show off the highlights that matter. NBA Top Shot has 4 collectible tiers to suit your fandom.
Well, there you go. You might think this is something that's happening in the future. It is not. It has happened in the past year and a bit. So in the digital world, I guess one can say it is old news. So are you in the market for some TV memorabilia? Would you like to own a little slice of television moment history? Would you like to own a slam dunk by Shaquille O'Neal? Let's have a look. LeBron James. This one can be yours for $219,000. Boom. Spend that money and put it on your mobile phone. $219,000 for that slam dunk by LeBron James. Next one. I thought that might be a little bit on the low side. So here, $1 million, boom. That is what $1 million will get you. Derrick Rose, boom. People are paying real money for real moments, real digital moments. So what about television? Digital disruption in television hasn't even started yet. You haven't seen anything yet. In the same way that you can already own historic sporting moments on the NBA, imagine owning those moments from a South African context. Imagine owning the moment of the World Cup winning try of the Springboks. What are you willing to pay for that? What is a collector willing to pay for that digital moment? Take sport aside. What about historic television moments? What about those historic moments in old TV shows like Friends? What would you pay for those historic moments? What would a collector pay for those historic moments? What about movies? Imagine those classic moments in movies. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. How much would you pay for that? The truth, you can't handle the truth. How much would you pay for that? Digital disruption in television is only getting started. Television is about to be revolutionized. Creativity is about to be revolutionized. Let's finish off and look into the future. This guy looks trustworthy. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook. Let's ask him. What do you think, Mark?
I wish I could keep telling you that our mission in life is connecting people, but it isn't. We just want to predict your future behaviors. Spectre showed me how to manipulate you into sharing intimate data about yourself and all those you love for free. The more you express yourself, the more we own you.
Oops, okay, that wasn't quite what I expected. Maybe let's go to this trustworthy source. I mean, surely reality TV stars and socialites are trustworthy. Let's ask Kim. Kim, what do you think?
When there's so many haters, I really don't care because their data has made me rich beyond my wildest dreams. My decision to believe in Spectre literally gave me my ratings and my fan base. I feel really blessed because I genuinely love the process of manipulating people online for money.
Yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. Anyway, let's move on. Is the metaverse real? Is all this just hocus pocus that we looked at? The metaverse is real, and not just is the metaverse real, it is here. Not just is it here, but it will leave you behind if you don't join, because it took 78 years in the past for telephone. It took 19 days for Pokemon Go. What do we do with this metaverse? Well, in the same way that we've created a lot of problems, a lot of war, a lot of pollution in the physical world, it's really up to us to shape this new digital world, this Internet 2.0, in a way that will be constructive, not just to us, but also for our children and our children's children. The Internet 2.0. I'm going to finish off with the same question that I started, and that is, what is the metaverse? Well, the answer is, it is up to you. It is up to you. You are the future of our industry. You are the future of creativity. You are the future of art, fashion, technology, television. The metaverse is up to you. Welcome to the metaverse. It is the future of creativity. I thank you very much, everyone. It was a pleasure to be involved. If you have any questions, we are going to jump onto a Q&A session. If we have some time, here's all my contact details. You're welcome to get in touch. There's not always time to connect digitally in the same way that it is in a real conference. So please do hit me up on any of these platforms. Thank you very much to Promax. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Andy. And thanks so much, Samira, as well as the DSTV team. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Emil. Again, mind blown. And I think the sentiments were echoed in the chat as well. I think it's just an overwhelming amount of possibility that kind of gets people a bit like backed into a corner and a little bit scared, if I'm being honest.
Oh, well, Samira, we're
so much opportunity.
we're in the creative world, and like I've said, it is up to us. No one is shaping the world other than us. It is we that's shaping the world, and us as broadcasters, creatives, editors, designers, producers, directors. It's really up to us what we have done in the physical world, and so to do it in the digital world. It's here, it's going to stay, so it's up to us what we make of it.
No, absolutely. Just want to remind everyone, we've got a couple of minutes for a few questions. So if you have any burning questions you'd like to ask, please put it in the Q&A and we'll filter them through to Emil. Just quickly, I just want to correct myself and apologize. I was way overexcited when I opened the session. And like most of us marketers and promoters, we live at least 3 to 6 months in the future. Registration has not opened for Promax conference this year. We will be opening next month when the schedule's released. So apologies for that. And just to make notes, keep looking out for it because it will open soon. We've got one question in the chat so far from Taryn Rose. And I think she's referring to the NFTs. Why would you want to own it?
Well, I will ask Taryn the same question. Why do you want to own a particular piece of clothing or a handbag? I mean, sure, it's functional. You can buy a handbag for a bargain price of 100 Rand, $10, or you can splash out and pay a lot of money for a brand name Gucci handbag. Why do you want to own it? Well, it is about how it makes you feel. Why do people collect trading cards? Why do they collect sports memorabilia? Why do they collect art? It's really just that personal connection that you have, that emotional connection that you have with a sporting team, a work of art, a historic moment in a television show. Why do people buy these things? Well, I don't know. I guess they have a personal connection to it, and they are willing to pay $70 million for that connection. I hope that answers your question.
And then a comment from Vanessa, we were afraid of emails. So this is just that and more. So I'm like, fair point.
Well, yeah, I remember when I started working, we only started to get email. Now, I guess none of us can even imagine our life without email. Yes, Taryn, I just saw your comment there because it's how it makes you feel. We are humans and we are emotional beings. We don't buy something because of the price. We are willing to pay more because of how it makes us feel. That's why we watch a television show. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we're enjoying the moment. It makes us feel happy. It makes us feel sad. It's all about how it makes us feel, and we're willing to pay a lot of money for that.
So Ruby Rose has another question. Outside art, television, fashion, and music NFTs, what else do you think is coming? And do you see digital real estate, for example?
100%. Digital real estate is absolutely huge. There's a metaverse called Decentraland, and in Decentraland, you are able to buy digital real estate. Again, this is people that's paying millions of dollars for certain sections in the metaverse. Now, the metaverse isn't just one place. You've got Roblox. Roblox is a metaverse. You've got Fortnite. Fortnite is a metaverse. You've got Decentraland. Decentraland is a metaverse. You've got the NBA Top Shots. That's a metaverse. Everything that's in the physical world is ultimately going to be represented on the digital world. And in my mind, everything that is in the physical world will also be on the metaverse, which means that you can purchase that. I mean, we're already there. You as a physical human being exist physically, but you also exist digitally. Now, don't tell me that Instagram feed, that Facebook photo isn't carefully curated. Of course, we curate our digital image. We represent that digital image to people in a particular way. We've got our physical identity that sometimes gets sad and lonely and cry. And we've got the digital identity that is more often than not beautiful, gorgeous, and on holiday. I don't know about you, but I post my holiday snaps, not my sitting in traffic snaps on the way to work. Ruby, I hope that answers your question. So everything that is physical can ultimately be represented digitally. And real estate, check out decentraland.com. That's only one of the real estate metaverse platforms out there. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you again. We've run out of time, but again, huge thanks, appreciation, Emil. I think it was again enlightening to hear you speak. Just a reminder, Emil's details are on screen right now. I know I'll definitely love to chat some more. But thank you everyone for joining. Look out for more sessions to come. Look out for the schedule for the conference. And we shall see you soon. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.